Hello, art kids. Today we're going to go ahead and get started with creating our henna hand. So the first thing we want to do is this. We have our long piece of paper. We've got an eraser and a pencil. Those are just all the tools you're going to need for right now. I want to start out by taking my hand, and I'm going to take my left hand, trace out because I'm right-handed. All right, you can see too, do not write on your hand like I did. Unfortunately, I forget things as I get older. And I want to go ahead, keeping the pencil straight up and down, I want to go ahead and go around my hand. Now, you don't have to press down terribly dark. All right, you can keep the pencil lines a little bit lighter because you are going to be going over these again with a Sharpie marker. So as long as you can barely see it, you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead, trace all the way around here, keeping that pencil straight up and down. You start going inward, start going outward, you're going to have itty bitty skinny fingers and big chubby fingers. All right, I want to make sure that this is a good representation of my hand. Now, once I get this done, then I'm going to go ahead and I want to start thinking about where can I start putting in patterns, details, maybe some textures, if you will, and I want to go ahead and start breaking this up. So I typically go in here when I do this project, and I like to start out by just kind of drawing some bigger shapes. All right, these bigger shapes kind of help out as far as giving you kind of the guidelines of where you can put things. And this is what it's nice to do also with a pencil, is just kind of get in here, get those bigger sections. Those are going to be areas where I can go ahead and start adding. Let me make this one a little different. There we go. All right, I can start adding some of my other details. Okay, maybe I want to go ahead and put some more, maybe circular shapes over here. Ooh, that's a neat idea. All right, so I want to go ahead and kind of add some through there. Maybe I want to go ahead, maybe kind of add a little bit more of a zigzag shape right in through here, kind of follow that circular pattern. And don't forget your wrist and your forearm, all right? You got to think about things to put on there as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of add a little shape here. Ooh, there we go, that's kind of fun. All right, a little bit through there as well. Now, once you think you got to a point where you've got it kind of broken down in these various shapes, then we can go ahead and start adding some Sharpie. Now, some people like to go ahead and use the pencil first to kind of add some of those little details and textures. Maybe they want to go and kind of add the pattern. You know, that's fine. The only problem is you tend to create a lot more work for yourself. If you are unsure about what you are creating, about the patterns that you want to create, it's not a bad idea to use the pencil. Otherwise, if you're ready for it, get started with using the Sharpie. Okay? Now, we've got a regular fine tip and we've got the ultra fine tip. Of course, the difference is you got a round top on the thicker lead or thicker point. All right, you got a flat top on this one right here, little point here. So I want to go ahead. I like to stay with the ultra thin point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this ultra fine point open here. If you notice that it does not work at first, okay, a lot of times they've been sitting around or they might be getting close to drying out. If you go slow and slowly bleed that point out, it should work for you. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, guys. I'm going to start by creating some of the lines on through here. And you can go ahead, you can add as much detail as you want. Look, I'm adding a little bit more to these circles here. And also, too, this is one thing that we're going to go over with these projects. In fact, this is going to be something that's kind of mentioned quite a bit in projects throughout your art career here at Osceola. Vary your line thickness. All right, notice how I got a little bit thicker line here, a little bit thinner here. It really helps enhance a lot of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to emphasize. It's not a bad idea. If you make a mistake, and chances are you probably will, like I got a little too wide over here, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of add a little bit more right through there. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm mixing this up a little bit. I'm going to add another line right through here. Look, I'm just kind of ad-libbing here, putting whatever I think I want. I'm going to keep these circles here. That'd be kind of cool. Looks like a top of a silo. That's interesting. All right. And I'm just going to keep going down through here. Now you can see that this does become tedious, but what's kind of fun is if you just completely shut the critical side of your brain down, you can come up with some pretty creative patterns. Now, Miss Medcraft and myself will offer a few handout examples, so if you do get kind of stuck, you can kind of use those as a reference, and that usually kind of helps you out. But yeah, you can just see, look at this. I started kind of doing a little bit, oh, my middle finger, oh. All right, I started doing a little bit of that, all right, and it starts to slowly kind of fill in as you start going and start putting this stuff together. Okay, so that ends our demonstration on how to get started with creating the patterns of your hand and how to start tracing that out for our henna hand. Good luck, and we can't wait to see what you guys create.